Hello, cadre. It's a special day today. You know why? Yes, 50th anniversary of the moon landing. That's not the shave I'm doing, but I was thinking about it. I thought, well, I can't do a moon shave. I could. We've got done videos about this before, or at least a couple, I think, the Techmatic. So if you haven't seen this, you can check out my the other videos on my channel. But this, not this razor, but this brand, this type of razor has been to space. I believe on Apollo mission. Yeah, on Apollo missions. There's one of these in the Air and Space Museum, Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. But the other reason today is special has to do with our guest star today. It's my daughter's 13th birthday today. So I let her be part of the video, and I let her pick what the shave is going to be today. So let me show you what she picked. I'll get started and she can tell you why she picked what she did. This is a Plissoft, not super soft, almost getting to be a little bit too floppy to there's really no exfoliation that happens with this. I'll rinse off the handle and I'll show you my brush. But this is the brush we're using today that she picked out, Shave Revolution. Why did you pick out this brush?
Because it's blue.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I said, we got all these brushes here. She goes, I want that one. I said, why? It's blue. There we go. Oh, I do have some new things. I thought I'd be using the new things today, but let her pick the shave. So watch for these. I've done a video of this before, but this one's mine now. I borrowed one. It's the Blackland Vector razor. Won't talk about too much. Done some videos on it before, probably be using this tomorrow, but new to me. And then a new soap and aftershave splash, probably using those tomorrow. But the soap today, picked by the teenager, Sapone di Paolo. This one's Terroso. Here, read what it's supposed to smell like.
Amber, patchouli, and oak.
Amber, patchouli, and oak. Why did you pick this one?
Because it smells good.
It smells good. It's blue. It smells good. That's the depth that we're going into here, folks. And it's funny because I opened. Now I got big dresser drawer full of soap. Opened it up. She saw this label, recognized it, but I've got 4 that look just like this on top. And so the first one was a different scent, and she said, you used to have one of these. It smelled really good. Because I've had the Terroso for quite some time, probably over 2 years now. So when I had fewer soaps, this is when she would smell this one. Nice and warm. I don't want to say earthy, more like how would you say that? It's like, here, you want to tell them what it smells like to you?
Cinnamon.
Oh, yes. More cinnamon. I was going to say spicy, but not like baking, like a toned down, warm baking spice scent. I think that's the mixture of the amber and the oak. Anyway, and this stuff's just sitting on my face. Let's get going. So, what's the razor you picked? Do you remember the name?
No. The black heavy one. The
black heavy one. This is from The Holy Black. This is their SR71 razor. And you picked it, why?
Because it's black and it looks cool.
Because it looks cool. So we have blue, smells good and looks cool. That's this shave. Thank you, Misty. Everybody say happy birthday, Misty. Happy birthday, Misty. All right, so we've got, I put a new feather blade. No, I didn't. I need to. Let's do that. Oh my gosh, I guess I'm doing a heck of a skin prep today. And this is a bummer, because if you haven't followed my channel from the beginning, when I first got this razor, the first shave I had with it, I was enamored. First I thought, that's the coolest looking razor I've seen for a long time, like jet black, and it's stubby and it's heavy. That's so cool. And the first shave I had with it, just actually today, I looked back. I'm checking blade alignment. I'm going to tell you why. I looked back on my first shave, which was amazing, just to make sure that I'm using the same blade. It was a feather blade. And my comments were, I don't even feel like there's a blade in the razor. Ever since then, I've never been able to recreate that shave. The biggest problem I have is tons of blade chatter. I mean, and it's so weird going from feeling like there's no blade to so much chatter that I've like make sure I don't have the cap upside down. And that's why I'm really checking blade alignments, because there's a little bit of play. So I thought maybe if I'm getting it a little crooked, because sometimes I also feel like one side has a little bit more efficiency than the other, so maybe the blade's been crooked. And I don't know if you can tell in there. I think alignment might be an overall issue with this. One side has a little bit more blade exposure than the other, but we're talking like 0.5 millimeter. Anyway, let's get going. And there's the chatter, which is a bummer, because if it didn't do that, it's just such a cool looking razor. I'm also bummed that more people won't make like a solid black razor an option. I don't know what the process is. I'm assuming it's not a totally different material. And actually I think where this gets screwed on at the bottom of the base plate, you can see that it's reflective under there. It's like a silver, so it's not, whatever this material is, it's just a coating or plating or something. But I would like more black razors. I think they just look sweet. Other stuff going on. Gonna mention this on just a past video. Kyle from the Cadre. Won't go through the whole story again, but he's kind of my supplier for green coffee beans. He had sent us some roasted ones that was the best coffee I had ever had, and I wanted to replicate that. His supplier, the company he buys from, didn't have those beans anymore, so he asked what would be the most similar, so I ordered those, roasted them up a couple days ago. Been excited to try them, because man, if I can replicate that coffee that good, it's a game changer, man. Don't add cream and sugar, don't add sweetener. But so the ones that I ordered that were suggested, the roasting process was way better than I'd had with the ones that came free with the roaster. So I don't know if I finally just let it go longer, or they're actually, I think they're actually better beans. I think, you know, when first crack happens, you hear, sounds like kind of like popcorn going. It wasn't that distinctive with the free beans I had. So I don't know, but not the same, Kyle. It was better than most coffees. The roasted ones you sent us, that were amazing, had like no bitterness whatsoever. I'm wondering, and I'll ask on the forums on theshavingcadre.com, if aging mellows them out a little bit. I know that after you roast them, they should sit for a few days, but I also pretty sure that you also want to use them as fresh as you can once however much time has passed for the off gassing and such. So I don't think you want to age them, but just curious about if the little bit of bitterness is ingrained in the bean itself, or it could be something with the process or aging or something that can be done to help that. Anyway, Just part of the learning process. And then, man, you guys, there's a thread on the Shaving Cadre that talks about fountain pens. I won't say I've always been interested, but I've used the cheapo off and on, but mostly off. I own two, both Lame's or Lammy's. I think I mentioned this too. No, we're not just repeating the last video. It's updates, man. Do you want to know what's going on? Fresh news, hot. But gotten those both working. One is just a cheapo plastic. This is the Safari by Lamy that you just put cartridges in. The other one is the Lamy 2000, which I super love. It's a nice metal. Again, oh, there, cat. Hi, cat. You can come? No, I don't have safety cats. They just don't like the bathroom door being shut. Is all. But see, there it goes again. But the other one, the Lamy 2000, actually has a well inside. I think it's like a piston fill or something like that. Anyway, love that one. The only issue is I think that it's a medium nib, and I can't really check without emptying it out and cleaning it up. It's got, most of the nib is covered by the tip of the pin, so you can't see on the nib where the size is. You have to actually push it out of the whole body of the thing. Anyway, it's a little, for taking notes for me and the type of work I do, making notes on agendas and things like that during a meeting. I need a extra fine, I think, or fine. I need a smaller line. So that's the bummer with that one, is I love the pen. It's just not super functional for my work. But so as happens on the Cadre, you get guys that just bring up a topic and it gets hot for a while. And so right now the fountain pen one, it's been there a long time, but for some reason it just kind of took off. There's lemon. So now I'm getting interested in that, and man, if you're into collecting razors, brushes, soaps, and all that, you're into if you get interested in the hobby, that means you don't want just one. You don't want just a razor, two soaps, and that's fine. You like seeing the boxes at your door, new stuff coming in. So I've been starting to watch videos on fountain pens and looking them up, and man, there's some gorgeous. Again, I like the more modern. Like I like the black. So I've been looking at like matte black fountain pens, and then I found one that's made out of volcanic stone, and you know, another big hobby I have is collecting and buying and drinking Napa Cabernet, which is not a cheap hobby, and so that helps me justify this stuff. That it's like, well, that new soap I bought's a fraction of one bottle of wine, so big deal. Fountain pens, yeah, if you just want to use them, there's some basic stuff you can get. I keep looking down because in the mirror I can see the door is hardly open. Let me see if we can get down there. Okay, you see the cat down there? She was kind of standing up trying to push the door open more. Anyway, all right, to quote Major Rich, and we're back. That was a mistake. Yeah, when I was pushing the camera up, I stopped the recording. I had no idea I had done that. I just kept going. So I'll just wrap up. It's weird to, when you're not planning on saying stuff, you really can't go back and repeat. I was just kind of commenting that you can't just say, I want a bunch of pens and have, when they're cost, $500, $600, $1,100. That's not just stuff you do on a whim. But I was making the point, I will use them. somebody at work when I was getting my pens ready. One's like 20 bucks, the other one's just over 100, so they're not extreme crazy things, but she's like, why do you have these at work? Aren't they expensive? Well, you know, I'd be afraid of something happening. I'm like, but why have them if you're not going to use them? That's the whole point, is to kind of add a little enjoyment to whatever task you're doing, right? That's why we do this stuff. But anyway, all right, sorry about the screw up. Hope you're all having a good weekend. Go celebrate the girl's birthday today. I'll catch you on the forums.